Pro Cannabis Media and PCM TV programming is supported by Revolutionary Clinics in Massachusetts, the #1 medical dispensary where the patient comes first, and by Salient Systems for Video Surveillance. You've got regulations, Salient has solutions for your security needs. And by Accounting Buds, your #1 accounting solution for the cannabis industry. And by TCP's Style Lighting Grow Kit, all you need to grow.
Hi, welcome to Green Rush Live. This is Christopher Smith. I'm standing in for Jimmy Young today for Pro Cannabis Media. And today's show is all going to be about the Cannabis World Conference and Business Expo, the CWCBE Expo in New York City that's happening next week. We've got some great guests for you today. We've got Christine Ianuzzi, who's the showrunner, really, show director for the CWCBE Expo, and Gretchen Gailey, chief strategist, as well as Gia Morón, who's the president of Women Grow, who's got a very exciting slate of events at the show next week. In the second segment of the show today, we'll be talking with Kate Caride. She is of Proud Mary Association. In the third section, we'll be talking to Colleen Higgins, who's a pharmacist and is involved in the medical aspect of the cannabis industry in New York. And we'll wrap it up in the fourth segment back with Gretchen Gailey. We'll come back up and round it up. So welcome to the show today. We have Christine first, and Gretchen, I believe, has just joined. And Gia, welcome to the show today.
Thank you so much.
There you are. How are we doing?
Thanks for having us, Chris. This is great. We really appreciate it.
Well, it's been a while for the viewers now. Christine, you and I go back a little bit, and it's kind of nice to be in the industry for a while, actually, and then you get to see some old friends in old familiar places. So this is actually really nice. You and I have seen each other. I think we first met in Las Vegas, as a matter of fact, and then we rounded up again and we saw each other in before the New York show a couple of years ago. And then I wrote an article. I included you in an article, the 10 most important women in cannabis at the time, as I recall. So I was just brown nosing really for this interview today. So really, I was trying to set up and trying to get on your good side. It's really great to have you, though. So you are the show director, I guess is your title, but you're also the CEO of Leading Edge Expos, right?
Correct.
And I always think of you as really, you've been on Leading Edge is a perfect name for your company because you've been in the cannabis shows since very early days, in my experience. So what's it like to be sort of out in front of everybody else? And then let's sort of understand how it feels to be in the New York market while New York is now legalized and it's all changed.
Well, and thanks, Chris, for having us. And yes, I remember you, and it's great to grow up in the industry together. You know, I think,
sure.
We've been around our show. This is our 8th annual CWCB Expo. We were the first trade show in New York at the Javits Center. And we have grown up in the industry as individuals in the company and as a show. And it's great that Women Grow is here. And Gretchen, I've known both of these women early on when I started. I've seen Gretchen in almost every trade show that we put on and other ones that I've gone to. And she's had many roles in the industry, and she's a pioneer, and so's Gia. And I learned a lot from Gia's company, from Gia's Women Grow, and she's the president of Women Grow. And it's amazing. You hit on it in the beginning, how we all have a history together, and we're making new history. And that's really what I think this year is about in our show, coming off of a very hard 2 years for everyone in every business. But now, we had our last show in November in 2021. It was a great success in New York. And here we are 6 months later, a very short path, having another one. And we're going to have a great show again. And it's really nice to have, again, the people around us that we've had, and then new entrants into the industry. And that's really what I think this is about, the historic year for New York State, for the surrounding states, the tri-state area, for everyone, and bringing all of the pioneers. They want to be with us and we want to be with them, and making new ones. And that's what it's about.
Well, I should have mentioned, I didn't mean to ignore New Jersey, Connecticut, who had just legalized as well. Delaware decided that they really didn't want to receive all that tax revenue and they didn't want to have any industry there. So they said, no, thanks very much. But there's an awful lot of activity in the Northeast and you guys are really at the center of it, where you belong, I believe. So there you go. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's true.
Gretchen, are you there?
I'm here.
Well, hi, Gretchen. How are you? Good to
Hi,
see you
how are
again.
Good to see you. And I would like to say, Chris, that it warms my heart that you have on your show just all women for this premier event coming up in New York, the biggest on the East Coast. It's run by a bunch of women. So suck on that.
As it should be, as it should be. See, now you all understand why I'm the president of the Gretchen Gailey fan club. So here you are. I'm really happy to see you on the eve or on the verge of Memorial Day weekend. Maybe the three of us are the only ones working. I'm not sure, but in any case, Gretchen, I've seen a lot of great messaging and a lot of great marketing being put out about the show. Tell me about how that's going and how the feedback is going. I think you're doing a terrific job. So how's that going for you? How's it feel?
It's going great. We are just seeing all the reservations roll in. They always, come piling in at the very last minute, which is always good to see. But we've heard a lot of great feedback, and I think people are really looking forward to the programming that we're providing this year. One thing that we've tried to do a bit differently, which has made for a few headaches, is just to have one track of speakers. We don't want anyone's attention to be taken away or for folks having to choose between one issue over another. So we want people's attention not divided. We want them in front of everyone that they want to see, and also to be able to hit the show floor. And that we have some amazing things coming on the show floor. And Gia's group, Women Grow, she has a whole pavilion, and I'm sure she will get into that in a bit.
Well, I know Gia's got her one foot on the accelerator, one foot on the brake. So hang on, just tight. Now I understand I don't know if you're allowed to speak about everyone who you've got speaking as the keynote and as the speakers, but I know that I've seen some really exciting names. So whatever you can share, I know that our audience would love to hear.
Well, two of our main keynotes that we are very much looking forward to, Chris Beals, CEO of Weed Maps. I'm sure anyone will see driving around, especially in the New York area, you see those Weed Maps billboards all over the place. So this is a brand well known to many, and we can't wait to hear what he has to say about policy and how things have been moving forward. We also have Nick Kovacevic. I met Nick 1,000 years ago, also grew up with him in the industry at an investing event where he was begging for money for Kush bottles. And he has managed, of course, to take this all into Green Lane, which is now publicly traded. Right. And so we're excited to hear from him and on how his journey has been. We also, this is going to be a fun little nugget for you guys. Christine has allowed me to take the gloves off and announce that we are going to have Redman attend the show on Friday.
Wow.
And he will be speaking. And so we're looking forward to hearing from them. I would really love to hear him talk about the new National Cannabis Party that he is promoting. But we're just so thrilled and happy that he could join us. And we think he'll be great for everyone to hear from.
Oh, that's just a superstar edition. And again, it's so appropriate. You're the biggest show in New York. You're the legacy show in New York, in my estimation. And it's exactly where he should be, and sharing the platform of the National Party, which has, talk about an issue that's important right now, and that really needs to have a consolidation of the message and clarity in the message and the delivery. What a perfect timing. Amazing.
He promises to be a very good interview. Steve Bloom, who a former editor of High Times and dear friend to the show, he will be the one who will be interviewing Redman. And so we're thrilled to have them both there. And I think Steve is going to just highlight everything we need.
That's great. I know Steve, as you remember, from the state of cannabis, in fact, in the early days. So, and he's a great interviewer and an OG himself, a long legacy, High Times editor, etc. So, what a perfect combination. The people that come to your show are really, really in for a treat with all of that. Wow. I would like to, if you don't, go ahead, Gretchen. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm just going to go on and on. So
don't I know it?
Tell me where you're going to head next.
So Gia, I would love to have you come forward and tell me a little bit about what you're working on next week. And it sounds like the Women's Pavilion do I have that right? The Women Growth Pavilion, pardon me, is to me one of the most exciting things that you'll have in the show. It's absolutely important and urgent, really, that women are recognized for all they're doing in the industry. And so I'd love to hear about what your plans are and what things will be happening. Tell me.
So thank you, Chris, so much, but I have to, and there's no way I can go on without acknowledging my cannabis sisters in the industry. I absolutely adore both of these women. I'm like, first of all, Gretchen already knows how much I love her red hair. So I am like, this is my girl. Like when I say like, not casually, how like I love, 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 love both Gretchen and Christine. And it is such an honor to share this time with them. And sitting here, I'm thinking next week feels like a family reunion. I mean, everyone that they've mentioned, we've worked with and have grown up in the industry since the beginning. I absolutely adore Steve Bloom. He and I exchange messages all the time. And, you know, it's just great to hear that the very first show that I attended when entering this industry is now in its 8th year. And so it's, you know, saluting Christine and all of her hard work. And then Gretchen and I have worked many years together. So, and we've all come up through Women Grow as well, right. Which brings me to the incredible opportunity that we worked with CWCB on, which is the Women Grow Pavilion. And for the very first time, you know, I think the idea kind of was born, Christine, last year when we extended our booth space to about 20 women over the 3-day period. And they came for like a half a day, but Christine came back and said, oh no, we need to take this bigger. We need to really expand the space. Great idea, but let me help you amplify that. And these are the exact partners that women in the industry are looking for. We're looking for people who will support us, we don't need hand guiding, but we need our opportunities and supporters to help amplify. And that's exactly what next week we'll do. And so we have 30 women who'll be presenting their businesses, vending in our pavilion space. From, I have like a list here because it's incredible. We have attorneys, we have the women from House of Puff, we have a beverage company, we have a CBD pet company coming. So when you think about the industry overall, it's not just the plant touching side, it's also the ancillary businesses. We have a marketing firm that is focused on cannabis marketing, and we recognize the challenges within this industry and those who are looking for those service providers. Of course, we've got skincare brands and different types of products, product makers. We have someone who will present a home grow kit. And again, these are so unique opportunities for them to expand and amplify their business to the show. And we're super excited about that. We also want to thank Christine for extending to us 5 full scholarships to women in the industry. And I'm not sure if you're aware, Christine, but we've actually, I think I mentioned to her as well that we're starting this Women from Legacy to Legal. And this is really helping women in the legacy market transition into the legal market. And so we've identified 5 women in legacy who are planning to segue into the legal market, and we're awarding them the scholarships so they can experience the conference so that one day they can be one of those presenting companies. So what CWCB Expo does for not only women in the community, but the industry overall is just immeasurable. Like, I mean, we're beyond grateful for this opportunity. We're excited about it. Everyone's all revved up. I mean, we've had probably 4 conversations a day. Are we ready? Is everyone intact? Has everyone signed their information? We're grateful to this. We know this is a historic, stellar year, and we can't wait until next week.
Wow, what an incredible intro.
I just want to throw in there that, you know, when this industry started years ago, women dominated. You know, women were the CEOs. We were the ones leading this industry. And that's kind of taken a back seat in the past few years with, you know, the MSOs and some other big corporations really coming in and entering the space. And so we see this as just a prime opportunity. I mean, there's no better time to showcase women-led companies. And that, like Gia says, they need a place where they can feel that they are welcome and that we want to work together. This is not, a handout. This is a hand up. We want to share with each other, and we want to make sure that these brands get the recognition that they deserve, because these women are just as hardworking as any other of the big boys that are already playing in the space.
And just as creative, just as talented, everything. Please, sorry,
I was just going to say, Chris, that, our Women Grow mission is to connect, educate, empower, and inspire the next generation of cannabis leaders. And that's exactly what this pavilion will represent, that next generation of leaders. And just as Gretchen said, like, this industry was initially, you saw women leading the charge and it took somewhat of a back seat, but everything comes full circle. And I believe this is the roundabout, as we're rounding out this full circle of seeing this next generation of, we're talking chefs, we're talking accessory makers, everything that we're seeing leading in the industry. There's always that next generation that's coming up. And we believe the Women in Our Pavilion will be that representative.
What an incredible opportunity. And aren't you fortunate, in fact, to have this long relationship with Christine, who's such a visionary and has led the industry with her shows and has provided a platform really for all of you to get to know each other. With her heart.
She's led it with her heart too. Absolutely. Because she cares.
Absolutely. No, she's been out front and bold and brave and visionary. I hats off to you, Christine, honestly.
Well, you will find no other show organizer who cares more about this space and the people in it. It's not about, just putting booze on the floor and making money for her. This is about making a quality event where everyone feels welcome and people are going to learn and they're going to do business and they're going to make friends and lifelong friends and colleagues at this show. And we should be so proud and thankful to Christine for all the work that she's done.
And all the work you're doing too, Gretchen. I see you. I'm so excited for you. You're in the right place.
But if I can add something, the Mutual Admiration Society, all of this is leveling up. We are ratcheting up. We are Cannabis 10.10. We're not Cannabis 101. And that's where we've grown together. And those who want to learn can still come to the show and should come to the show. They'll leave with the tools and the information they need. But I have to say, we're going to be doing this whole Women Grow Pavilion and other pavilions that we have. We have the College Pavilion. These won't happen without people like this, without Gretchen, without Gia. Their mind share, their vision, their hearts, their intelligence, their experience. None of that could happen without it. And next time, the next show we have, the Women Pavilion, the Women Grow Pavilion is going to be even bigger, and it's going to be even better. And this is a template for more, because we don't stop here. We keep going. And these women are going to be very successful. And we're going to make sure of that. And it's going to be a great pavilion. I would urge you to come in there, Chris, and take a look. It's going to be set up so nice. And these women are going to feel good, exactly what Gretchen and Gia said. They're going to feel welcome. They're going to feel like the leaders they are and will become.
This is fantastic. I am so grateful to all three of you to be able to just share this conversation with you, really. This is wonderful. I have such respect for all of you, and I am so excited to be in New York next week to share in all of this experience with you. We have to take a break now. We take a break at 4:20, of course, because it's 4:20. So I want to thank you all so much for being here just for the moment, Christine, Gretchen, and Gia. And we'll take a break and we'll come back in the next segment. Thank you so much.